Returning to our top story this morning, 20 aid trucks have been allowed to enter Gaza through the Rafah border. This is the first time since the intensified fighting began that this border crossing has opened. Those trucks will bring food, water, medical supplies, and more to communities in Gaza. Soon after those trucks entered Gaza, this video was shot. It shows a large plume of smoke rising above Rafah. At the moment, it's not clear what caused this. Meantime, the UN Secretary General is calling for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire to allow for aid to safely reach those in need. The war between Israel and Hamas is now entering its third week. Yesterday, we learned that 2 American hostages were released by Hamas and have now been reunited with family in Israel. Bradley Blackburn joins us live this morning in New York. And Bradley, there's a lot to unpack this morning.
There is, Max, and these are 2 significant developments here. Families have been waiting for any news about hostages held by Hamas, and the opening of this border crossing, even if briefly, could be key for hundreds of Americans who are trying to get out of Gaza.
Overnight, trucks filled with aid supplies moved into Gaza for the first time since the war began. The Rafah border crossing with Egypt finally reopened, but the U.S. Embassy in Israel warned Americans trying to leave it's not clear how long the opening will last. The news comes after the first release of hostages from Gaza, 2 American citizens, Judith and Natalie Renan. The mother and her 17-year-old daughter were visiting relatives when they were captured by Hamas 2 weeks ago in a terror attack on Israel.
There are still 10 additional Americans who remain unaccounted for. We know that some of them are being held hostage by Hamas.
In Illinois, where the Renans live, family and friends celebrated the news and expressed profound relief.
I'm going to hug her and kiss her, and it's going to be the best day of my life.
After the release, President Biden spoke to the Renans by phone, saying they have the full support of the U.S. government. In Israel, the military is still poised to launch a ground invasion into Gaza, but the timing remains unclear. As he departed for Delaware, President Biden was asked a question by a reporter.
Should Israel delay the ground invasion until you can get more hostages out?
The White House later said he didn't hear the full question. Last night, demonstrators in several U.S. cities called for peace.
Ceasefire in Gaza immediately.
Pro-Palestinian rallies are planned Saturday in more than 24 cities across the country.
And the U.S. Embassy in Israel sent a warning to American citizens in Gaza, saying that the opening of the Rafah border crossing could create a chaotic situation on both sides. Max, they said that individual citizens need to do their own security assessment to decide whether to attempt to cross.
So, Bradley, we are unsure at this point of how long this border crossing will stay open. If it does stay open, will Palestinian refugees be allowed to cross?
Right, Max. So far, we have only heard about supplies going into Gaza. There's been no word yet on people making it the other way into Egypt. It's likely that if that does happen, American citizens, other foreign nationals would potentially be allowed to cross. Palestinians almost certainly would not. The Egyptian government has said that it's not willing to allow Palestinian refugees into their country. And Max, interestingly, Jordan has said the same thing. They, of course, border the West Bank, 2 Arab countries that are refusing to accept Palestinian refugees at this point.